Mixties presents the Popcast. Hey everybody, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Popcast, and today we are talking about America's Got Talent, the first live show, and it was good. But wait, I have a conspiracy theory for you today, boys and girls, so get those tinfoil hats on. It's going to be a rough ride. Shane, take it away.
I'm totally out of Reynolds wrap, man. I got no tinfoil, so I'm just going to have to take the chance. I'm going to have to risk it today.
I did some research.
To see what you got.
I did some research last night and the day before, and I'm going down the rabbit hole, bro. I'm going down the Simon Cowell rabbit hole.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Do you want to do that before we recap the show, or do you kind of want to save this for people to watch at the end so they can hear so you just tease them a little bit?
I want to save it for the end, and I'll tell you why. Because some of these acts prove my theory.
Interesting. Okay. No, I'm very curious. You did not share this with me. I have no idea what it is you're going to talk about, so I'm curious as well.
Okay. Numero uno.
Oh, before we go into the acts, can I just say overall, I was glad that everybody was in Hollywood for the first time last night. It was nice. Everything felt a little, tighter, more. The live show was definitely better. The first live show was better than any of the other episodes.
Yes, and
the way it's formatted.
And you know why, right?
Well, you weren't worried about. Well, it's mostly because the judges weren't making the decision anymore. It's America.
Right, but the format. You saw every act entirely.
Right.
In its entirety. It wasn't cut and smashed and pushed together so that you can get as many commercials as possible. And no, you saw every act. No nonsense.
Everybody got a legit shot last night.
All right, the first act of the night for me just started out the night with its typical sob story. And let me literally I remember looking at my wife and be like, wow, they're really starting this one as sob story as possible, because it starts with like, when I was younger I was blind, and I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, Christian Gardino. Yeah.
It started with the story about his blindness and whatnot. And here's the deal. No offense to Christian Gardino. He didn't do badly. I thought he was great. I like his voice. I do agree with the other with a couple of the judges where like he could have sang something a little more memorable, but I liked him all the same. It wasn't bad, right?
No, he's got a great voice, right. And I think part of the problem with Christian, this is the problem with the Golden Buzzer guys. This is the first time we're seeing the people who got Golden Buzzard after their first audition, and I've always felt like there was a little bit of a disadvantage for these people. Because we've been watching them the whole way and we're rooting for them, and now we're voting for them, but we have to be reintroduced to them. So I wasn't actually that disappointed to get his story from the beginning, because I had forgotten what his ailment was. I know he had an ailment because everybody seemed like they had an ailment at the beginning of this, or something physically wrong with him. So I had to I couldn't remember if it was his hearing or if it was eyesight. So I was okay with getting some of that story back. But you're right, they pulled the tear strings right away.
Like immediately. But he wasn't bad. And I know we're jumping right into it, but I got to make one quick thing about the judges and the host. First of all, Tyra actually looked nice last night. She wasn't wearing
Tyra has lost weight, bro.
Yeah, she wasn't wearing some crazy weird outfit like usual, where she has some super fashionable thing red blood Americans don't even understand or even know what she's wearing. But Mel B decided to go ahead and take that mantle from Tyra last night, and she had shaved head, and she's wearing fingertip, dress. It was crazy. I don't know what Mel B was wearing, and it's weird as a man even questioning what they're wearing, but it's hard not to look at Mel B and be like, what was the plan? Come on, what was the plan?
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I got to tell you, Tyra's 43 years old, and she had been pushing maximum density on every one of those shows. And last night, my wife actually was the first one to notice it, because I just don't notice this kind of stuff. But she's like, wow, Tyra lost weight? and I was kind of looking at it. I'm like, you know what, dude? She lost a lot of poundage. I don't know.
Dress
I don't know what she did.
Great. She wasn't annoying. She hosted well. I'll give her that. She did okay. But Mel B was looking crazy, man, like some kind of sci-fi.
I don't know what's up. I mean,
version of Mel B from year 3000 or something.
Yeah, it was crazy. She had the whole weird shaved side of her head thing going on, and she was wearing the like one-piece glove-handed thing. And I'm not exactly sure why we're judging what people look like, but compared to what we dress like. But I will say that I definitely like the Mel B up through the season better. You know, obviously she'd been working on her on her shape.
And normally we don't judge what they look like. You're right. I just remember seeing. I look at that and I'm like, what's going on?
They stuck out for sure.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Like
these are things that were big time obvious. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So Tyra, good on you. Mel, let's get back to where you were. You were looking really good.
Let's bring it down a little bit. Anyways, so yeah, Christian Gardino, not bad, but you know
he did good, but I don't think he's gonna move on.
Yeah,
personally.
There's too many singers, dude. And his sob story is not as good as others. Next act came up. I know it was your personal favorite.
I like him.
And Paige. I do not.
I do. I love him.
I'm gonna love tonight when they're voted away.
Let me tell you something. I want to tell you. I understand that the first act I did not like that they did the very first time. The last two I've liked. They did. The last one they did a rendition of Dirty Dancing, and then last night they did Footloose, and they performed these dance moves as well as any adult could. And I know that that's not how you're supposed to judge them, but it's hard not to be impressed with an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old that can pull off those moves, man. I mean, that's impressive. And
I just don't
while
care.
I don't think they should go through, I know, but I don't think they should go through. They're talented. They're the most talented.
Oh, I'm not saying
kids out there.
I'm not saying these little ones are not talented. They are definitely talented, and I think they should come back in like 5 to 10 years.
I want to give credit where credit's due on that one. I just want to say I think they did a really good job last night.
They are definitely talented. I just don't, and I have not thought since the very first show to now that they belong on America's Got Talent, taking away slots from other people.
Okay.
And so tonight, I think they'll be voted off.
Okay.
Off the island, as they say.
I think they will, too. I actually think they'll be voted off as well.
Okay, next act was in the closet. I mean, that was not intentional. In the stairwell.
You know what my favorite part of In the Stairwell last night?
Yeah.
Not only do they do the whole, they went out to Colorado Springs and they did the whole Air Force Academy thing, which is cool. But and listen, I was in the military. I served an entire career in the military. Brian was in the military. And so listen, I don't want to knock the Air Force. The Air Force is the smart choice if you're going to join the military.
If you're joining the military, join the Air Force. I made the mistake and joined the Army. So
when the guy said we might be on the front line,
I laughed my butt off, bro.
I was like, come on, man. Anyway.
I was like, wait a minute. You guys are Air Force officers. You're as far from the front line as like the housewife in Orange County. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess there is the chance that they could be flying jets.
The off chance aliens attack the world, and they're the last people, the last part of the military left, and they got to get out there and save the day. Maybe if all the Army and the Navy and the Marines are just gone, and even the grunts, and they go, hey, you know what? We need those young Academy officers from the Air Force to come fight for America's Got Talent to come sing the aliens off the planet.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. You're not going anywhere near the front line.
It's not like we're dogfighting with Russian MiGs anymore, okay? This isn't 1984. It's not Top Gun.
We're not dogging them, per se. We're just saying that wasn't accurate, okay?
Yeah. If you're a Marine pilot and you're flying Ospreys, now you got problems because chances are that one's going to crash at some point.
Yeah, you're a helo pilot somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
So these guys, these guys
even had like the lieutenant stripes on their hats, and I'm like, these guys aren't seeing combat.
No, yeah. Listen, man, I got to tell you, the judges. The one thing I hate about the live shows is all the judges typically throw off their judging capes, and now they become cheerleaders. And
except for last night.
Well, only one person in one act. It was Simon. Which I like them when they keep it real, and I almost wish that the judges wouldn't speak at all. I would rather them not give a breakdown of how they thought the performance went, because I don't feel like it's I feel like it's a love fest. And when we get to puddles, I want to knock on Heidi a little bit, because I don't like what she said. I thought it was not cool.
I'm with you too on there, and I'm with you there on Simon too.
Yeah. So, but in the stairwell, these guys, people think they were better. I actually fell asleep during their performance and had to wake up. I had a 30-second nap.
I gotta be honest. I thought they were better last night. I know you're gonna hate me for this, but I thought they were better last night. I actually liked it last night.
I didn't really like it. I didn't like the song.
See, I love that song. That song is very underrated and not as popular as I feel like it should be. It's been used incorrectly in media.
Well, the song is 80% of the performance for singing acts.
Yeah.
If you got to pick the right song, or else you're going to be screwed.
That was a hard song to do as a group, because that's done by a single person and electronica like keyboard thing in the real world. So, I
mean, credit to them. It didn't connect with me, and I'm not I'm not hating on them. I mean, good for them that they got this far.
Same. But I don't know if they're going through, but
I don't think. I hope they're not going through.
Yeah, I don't know. And honestly, I'm apathetic. If they don't go through, whatever. If they do.
If they go through, I'll feel like they stole a spot from somebody. So we'll see.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do you feel that same way about Artin and Paige?
Yes, I'll feel like they stole the spot from somebody.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. All right, next one. Again, my favorite act of the season, but not my favorite act last night.
Yeah.
The singing Trump. Now, he started off rough and picked it back up with MC Hammer.
It's all about song choice, man. It's all about song choice with him.
First song choice wasn't great.
He should not have chosen that. I can't even remember the song off the top of my head. It was like a "Shut Up and Dance with Me." Number one, I hate that song anyways. And so it already makes it hard. My kids love it. They sing it constantly. And maybe that's why it just drives me insane. So, and he didn't do it well. And I was so disappointed when he started. I'm like, oh no, you're crashing. And then he did the MC Hammer thing, and they did the pants. It did feel jumbled. It felt, it actually felt, I was saddened for him. He got sympathy votes for me last night on the app. I voted for him.
I was worried that he wouldn't go through. And I actually downloaded the app just to vote for him. Yeah,
yes. Okay, so I would like to, as we go through, if it's cool with you, I'd like to say who we voted for. I gave him 10 votes.
Yeah, that was the first person I voted for. I was trying to figure out how to go negative votes on Artin and Paige, and the app wouldn't let me.
Yeah, no, it won't work. Yeah, you just gotta.
So yeah, I agree with you though. The first part of that performance was not great. I really hope that he gets through, because I feel like he faltered. But I do feel like he can bring this back. And I bet he picked the wrong song that didn't fit his voice very well. He needs to just reset, man. And I think that he can. So I hope he does. I hope that goes through. We'll see.
He needs to do more self-deprecating Trump as well. So he's going to lose the people who hate Trump. That's part of one of his problems is right now, last night, he needs to make fun of Trump while he's being Trump.
If he wants to get both sides of the aisle, he's got to do both. Self-deprecating and the pompous Trump.
Yeah, just be Trump, be the pompous Trump, but also crack jokes against yourself. He's got to do that, and he's got to come out with a song, and he's got to get his – I mean, coming off of Air Force One, I thought it was a cool setup. The stage was set up really well. He's got to get those background dancers to do something different. Maybe bring out a Hillary lookalike or some sort of maybe some Russian agents or something.
I really hope that if he goes through, we get like some kind of Hillary lookalike.
That would be great. Yeah.
Okay. The next one up was Angelica Hale, and I liked her, and you're shaking your head right now.
I just wish she'd done a different song. She's so good.
I like that song.
She is so good. I don't know. It just didn't reach me. And I mean, I'm one of those kind of people that I'm not like a song snob. Like I pretty much like what's popular. You know, I'm kind of like that. But so if you didn't reach me, you're not going to reach a lot of people, I think. So.
Well, I gave her 5 votes because I felt like that was the first singing act so far that I thought had real talent. Because while Christian Gardino was talented, I didn't hear that talent so much last night. Like I know it's there, but I didn't hear the range like I did with
Angelica. Is definitely much better than he is, and I did not give her any votes. I felt like she was going to probably do well, and I didn't feel like I needed to vote for her.
Yeah. Okay. Next act, Bello Knock is back, baby.
I am so glad.
The internet came through. We complained,
they really did.
And then AGT was like, man, we're losing our audience here.
Dude, did you see Simon? I love the story. He's like, well, I thought about it. You didn't think about nothing. The Bello Knock backlash smacked you.
Yeah.
You know, you had to bring him back. You know, I
thought about it and decided to bring you back. No, your boss's boss was like, what are you doing? Your boss's boss called you on the phone and said, I'm assuming you want that paycheck to clear, right? Bring Bello back on the show.
Here's NBC. We need the clown.
Right.
And by the way, can you leave the big fat clown alone or the big clown alone, please?
Yeah, come on. Bro, okay, no, we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. I got a lot to say about that. Let's talk about Bello Knock.
Bello Knock.
I think it's one of the craziest acts I have ever seen on this show.
He's so fun to watch, man.
He's crazy. He's not tied off to anything.
I don't know what to tell you. I know it's not like super, like it's not super flashy and whatnot, but I don't know. I love his act. It's so
I like watching him.
Raw and real, and he is a real performer. So
yeah, he is like a real clown. Like when you used to go to the circus when you were a kid, and they would do kind of some weird stuff. He really has body control. He's thick. He's an older man. I mean, what is he? I think he's 60, 50, 60
old, yeah.
And he really has a lot of body control. And I'm telling you, I don't know how he did that wheel of death, getting his body into the air to land a certain way with the gravity, the timing of the jumps. He could have fallen very easily. So it was definitely the best Bello Knock performance and worthy of going through, in my opinion. And I gave him 10 votes.
Wow, nice. I gave him 10 votes too. And I think that all of Reddit, hi Reddit, I think all of Reddit,
love you Reddit,
/r/AGT for Sheezy, I think they gave him 10 votes too.
Nice. Shout out to our favorite Reddit subreddit.
Yeah, the only way we get views nowadays are peoples from Reddit hooking it up. Thank boys and girls. Okay, next up was Just Jerk. Not a great name for an act, by the way.
I keep thinking like jerk sauce.
Yeah, immediately I think of beef jerky or teriyaki sauce. You know,
is jerk sauce is it an Asian sauce?
It is now. I don't know.
I mean, I know it's like a barbecue sauce. I'm pretty sure it's a hot sauce, jerk sauce. So, anyways,
I don't know. And they're all right.
I mean, I think that they are very good.
Yeah.
Like for a dance crew. You know, I love the hand thing that they do where they got the hands back to back to back to back or whatever it is. And I think they're great timing. I don't see them going through. I don't think they're good enough.
They
great,
might go through because there's not a lot of dancers.
Yeah, I don't know. Their story about South Korea still bugs me a little bit too. So.
Yeah, that really bugs me. I didn't vote for them. You know.
I didn't vote for them either.
I was like, I'm real apathetic to whether they go through. I mean, at least we got to see their full act, though. Next up, Puddle's Pity Party. How dare Simon buzz somebody in a live show? How
Shame on
dare
him.
you,
Seriously.
Simon? Shame on you. Shame on you. Influencing the vote of America. Shame on you, dude. It's not even like he made a mistake. It's not as even like he did something offensive. No, you buzzed him because you don't want him to go through and you're trying to influence our vote. Screw you, man. That was messed up. That was messed up,
Yeah.
Simon. You should not have done that.
I will say, though, there was something off last night with Puddles. I don't think I think for Puddles to be successful, they had the little intro video, which was fine. And they did a lot of these intro videos for a lot of people, kind of almost like acting is kind of what they did for some of these acts. They came in, they had their little story. They had like a little, 2-minute edited feature video, I guess, movie or whatever. They did it for the two kids at the beginning with the dancing, and then they did it with Puddles, where he was a little kid, right, on the playground, and nobody came to his party, so it became told his backstory, right? Mm-hmm. It was his what do we call it in the comic book world, the superhero world? Origin story. His origin story. His origin story. But what happened was we came out of his origin story and straight into him singing, which is a big no. Puddles has to come out on the stage, and we have to be reminded that he does not speak at all. We need to be reminded that he's putting on a performance. And so if we don't get that 30 seconds, 60 seconds of him setting himself up before he starts singing, the magic fades that we get from him. That's part of his what we love about him. And if Simon wasn't being intentionally difficult, it might be that he felt that way as well. And the fact that they tried to get him to talk at the end of it, it really irritated me. Just let the guy do his act. If he wants to be a sad clown, Heidi, shut up. Let him be a sad clown. Yeah, we got enough positive garbage.
What's the deal with Heidi and Simon last night? Like, come on, man.
I mean, especially with Puddles, it's his act. It's his character.
It's so disrespectful to the audience to do what you guys are doing last night. It's so messed up.
It is. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I have a theory about what Puddles is doing. I think he's got a story that, if told from beginning to end, will end up with a happy, positive clown. I think his story is going to progress, but they're not letting let him tell his story. Yes. And get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Stop overproducing. Stop overproducing this show, please.
No, and Simon, you're welcome. I gave him 10 votes just because of your
I gave him 10 votes too. I would have been like just like the other thing. I would have given it 5 votes and been like, good job. I gave him 10 votes because you buzzed him, bro. That's what I did. I mean,
pretty much. Yeah, I felt like,
how dare you buzz somebody in a live show? Have you not been? Do you not know what America's Got Talent is?
He's been doing it a long time, man. He knows.
What are you thinking? You're buzzing someone in a live show? Oh my! It's so disrespectful, man.
It's cruel. It's not. Cruel. I mean,
it's telegraphing and it's cruel.
Yeah. I mean, if he's going with his heart, I'm okay with that. If he truly feels that way, but you know what? Buzz then you got to do it to everybody. Every time you don't like something, you need to buzz it. Not just when I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I think it's going to backfire.
That I hope it does. I hope Simon's not on the show next year.
It's tough because Simon's he's a producer.
I like Simon. I like Simon until this season. I'll tell you why. I went back and I watched the last season of Britain's Got Talent.
He's a little different on that show.
It's edited the same. Has the same crazy fast editing. They telegraph all the performances that go through. It's very clear who's going through and who's not. They all have insane sob stories that the producers help them make up. There's a whole behind the scenes thing. This guy actually did this guy did a whole, series of videos of behind the scenes. And I gotta say, it is not the way America's Got Talent should be ran. If it works for Britain's Got Talent, fine. But we've been watching for 12 seasons, and this is the first season where it appears Simon Cowell is directly involved in how it's edited and produced and all that. And he's making a Britain's Got Talent clone. And the problem with that is Britain's Got Talent is a clone of America's Got Talent. It's a clone of something that is successful. So why are we taking it? Why are we taking something that's semi-successful and cloning that? I don't understand.
Which is a clone of American Idol, which is a clone of I think Britain Idol, which is where Simon Cowell originally came from and brought it to the States.
Sure, and I understand why he is given that credit and why he's given that pull. But
I mean, he is the godfather of this entire genre.
And I understand that. And I understand the
yeah.
respect he deserves for that. But what he's doing by taking America's Got Talent and turning it into Britain's Got Talent and with the style that they have is just pathetic. I haven't talked to a single America's Got Talent fan that likes this season. This season has major problems because of its editing, its telegraphing, its heavy focus on singers. And,
yeah, that's a problem.
And it's so clear the bias that Sime has and an influence on this season. It's super clear when singers that he are giving, and not just the guy from last week, but he's done it now a couple times where you're giving singers second chances and you're pulling for them and you're pushing them through and you're just pushing them along, and good acts are falling to the wayside because you don't care about them, because you can't sign them after the show's over because you can't put them on your record label,
Yeah. See, there's a little more American Idol. He's like that. He was like that on American Idol. So he kind of had that kind of power, and then X Factor as well. So you can see that he's kind of doing that with America's Got Talent too. But I will say this: I think the reason why they made the changes to the editing is there was criticism the last couple of years that America's Got Talent was kind of too long, that there were too many episodes, that it was kind of taking a long time to drag out to get to the live shows. So I think that's why they are trying to speed up the process. But what they need to find a happy medium, because this just for me didn't work this year. I'm happy we're at the live shows now, but getting to this point, I did not like the second cut shows at all.
No.
So I did not like the way they were done. I don't like the telegraphing. They need to go back to the grouping where they take them to Vegas and then they break down the acts there, and we get to see kind of the process of how they break them down. That was the fun part of the show. We don't need two sets of live breakdowns, which is kind of what we're getting. You get the ones where the judges break them down, but it feels like almost like live shows. And then now we're getting live shows. Give me this second stage. Give me the second act of the 3-act show production. Give me the second one where you come in and you get to be part of the, vetting experience, which is not what's happened this year.
I completely agree. And, and the editing, I can't say it enough. The editing is just so bad. It needs to be.
I really hope there's a season 13. We'll see what happens.
There will be. There's no way NBC drops this. They're still making huge numbers. And it's so good it's a 2-hour show. They could just pack it. It's like a little Super Bowl every week for them.
That's true. Oh, and I would like to say for Puddles, just getting back to him, his singing is fantastic.
Oh, it's so good.
His voice is so good.
Yeah.
That alone, the guy would be doing well on the show.
We spent all that time talking about why we have a problem with this, but I got to be honest, you're right. Puddles, his performance is really good.
Just that alone.
He deserves to go through, and if he doesn't go through because of the influence of those two judges, I'm going to be really unhappy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to be so unhappy that that Simon dared to buzz somebody in a live show and influence that, and then Heidi with her big mouth. Sometimes on our show here, bro, I feign anger as a joke. I'm not feigning. I'm really, really disgusted with the way they treated Puddles last night. It was uncool. It was uncool, yeah. It was cruel, and it wasn't right. And I don't understand. Everybody should be mad about that. Everybody. Anybody likes this show? Because it's not just about Puddles. The fact that you do that to a single act at all in a live show is just, it's unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
That's true. A lot of people don't realize how hard it is to sing that Lord song, Royals. That's actually a really hard song to sing, and it's really stylized to her voice, the original on that song. And so the fact that he was able to make it his own was truly impressive.
Yeah, and they need to get out of the way and let Pose do his thing.
Let him do his thing.
Trying to get him to talk was.
Yeah, I wish they would stop doing that. Just
stop
let him
doing
do
that.
his act.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, okay. On to more positive things. Preacher Lawson. I like Preacher Lawson. I thought he was hilarious, man. The guy legit made me laugh. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
I struggle with Preacher Lawson.
I'm not supposed to like him as much as I do, but he made me laugh last night a couple times.
Man, I love his energy, man. I mean, I love his energy, but I hate the fact that I have a hard time following what he's saying. He speaks so fast. He's got so much energy that it's hard to catch the joke. There's a delay every time on when I catch his joke, and it's a little irritating for me because I don't want to play catch up with him when I'm watching his performance. And so if there was one thing I'll say is I really love the clapping. I mean, he's got good physical comedy, right? He's got good physical comedy skills, but he's got to slow down the way he speaks, and maybe he'll get that with more practice. I just want to be able to understand him better.
Sure. Yeah,
I didn't give him any votes.
I gave him votes. You know why I gave him votes?
Why did you give him votes?
He made me laugh, and he's not a singer.
Fair enough.
All right, next up was your favorite girl, and tonight we find out who won the bet. If you also lost the bet.
Oh yeah,
Yoli Mayer. Tonight is the night we find out whether or not I'm doing something crazy or not, because I told you first live show she's gone.
You did, and listen. I will say this. Regardless of how she did last night, she got 10 votes from me. So.
Of course you did. Of course. You know why? You're in collusion with Simon Cowell.
I think she has a.
You guys talking? Voice. You guys talking? Huh? You guys making them make sure she wins?
Yoli Mayer sounds almost like Adele, and Adele has the greatest voice on the planet right now. So you can't. It's hard to argue with.
I mean, that's that. Super subjective to say.
It's true though, right? I mean, does she not sound like Adele?
She does, but I don't think Adele has the greatest voice on the planet.
Wow.
It's such an objective thing to say. Subjective.
It's subjective, but okay. So if you asked 100 people who has the best voice of all singers that are popular,
I guarantee you 3 of those people say Lil Wayne. You know, it's so subjective.
Okay, no, that's 3. There's still 97. So what I'm saying is that the majority of people would say that Adele, I mean, I think all of her Grammys and all of her People's Choice Awards would probably.
I mean, if you took 100 people and said, who's your favorite singer? I don't think the majority of them would be Adele.
Okay.
If you said, is Adele the greatest singer in the world to 100 people?
If you said, who has the greatest voice in music right now?
I don't think the majority would be Adele. I don't even know what the majority would be. I think it would be a spattering of individuals.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Adele's not bad. I like Adele. But I don't think she has the greatest voice in music today.
Okay.
And if you asked me who that would be, I wouldn't have an answer for you. I don't know. There's a lot of good singers out there.
That's true. She does have the best-selling album, 2016 and 2017. So, anyways, I think my point is
I don't know, but I'm not. Maybe it's because I'm not a huge fan of Adele. When I hear Yoli Mayer, I yawn a little bit.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that because I personally love Adele's songs.
I don't mind Adele. I don't mind if she's on. I'm not turning it off. You know,
okay.
My kids will watch her videos, and I think she's talented, but it just does nothing for me personally. So Yoli Mayer, by proxy, does not much for me.
Okay, so for you personally, not. So I get that. That makes sense.
I look at her and I go, she's talented, but not worth $1 million.
Okay.
It's crazy. Maybe I would feel different if we didn't bet. I don't know.
Yeah, that's maybe that, and and if you liked Adele, I mean, there's a lot of things that factor here. But
also, the song she picked last night was not great.
we wouldn't have a bet though if you didn't have the opinion you did, because you would have been in with me. So I mean, I love the fact that we're on opposite sides of the fence here with this one, and
the
I
songs
want
you
her to
picked
go
last
through.
night. How about that?
No, I did not like the song that she picked last night.
Horrible
No,
song
in
choice.
fact, I think song selection overall last night was super poor on the with everybody except for two people.
Except
So
for Puddles.
Puddles, and then I think the person we're going to talk about still, I thought chose a great song.
Yeah, so I think Puddles, you know, it's crazy when she was given a hard time about that particular song choice by one of the judges. I'm like, that song is so difficult to sing. He knocked it out of the park, man. Like that was a showing of how good he is, you know?
You talking about Puddles?
Yeah, sorry, Puddles.
Oh, okay.
So I like the song choice
Puddles
for that reason. I don't even like that song, but I know that song is hard to sing.
Yeah. I personally like that song, so it made me feel I liked it. So
I'm not even a huge fan, but I liked his performance, you know, of that song. All right.
So Yoli, we're hoping goes through. For me, you're hoping she doesn't. I got to figure out what you're gonna do, because I got a feeling that
if she goes through, then you're gonna have to tell everybody what I'm doing on the show. All right.
I mean, we're looking at 4 acts going through, right?
Is it 4? I don't know.
I believe it's 4. It should be 4. So that way, because we have 3 shows, 4 acts going through for each show will give us another 12. Then they can take those 12 in a semifinal and take the top 3 to the finals. That's the way it should be.
Okay, sure. Next up is Billy and Emily England. I gotta say, last night was their best performance. And surprise, surprise, everybody, they were wearing clothes. You know, I didn't see inside of her lower intestine this time. I actually liked them last night. I liked the fact that they were dressed. Their act, starting with the head, was more impressive. I mean, it is still more of the same, but I gotta say, this was their best performance. But I don't know if it's worthy of going through. It is still very similar performance to the first 2, right?
Okay, so hey, just to clear something up really quick, it looks like we're actually going to have 7 acts going through. So only 5 will go home from last night. So 7 acts will go through.
We're going to have to predict what those 5 will be at the end of the show.
That are going to go home.
Right.
Yeah. So they'll end up with 21 acts for the next round, basically, is what's going to happen.
Right.
So, but Billy and Emily, I didn't like last night as much as the one before. I thought it's hard, you know, her grabbing his beard and doing the spin. I thought they did add new moves last night, which was cool. But I mean, I'm over Billy and Emily England, if you want to know the truth.
Dude, I was over them day 1, bro.
I mean, it's a super cool talent, but you can only spin in circles for so long before you got to do something else. You got to bring something else into your act.
Yeah, I feel like they should add more. I'm not sure why they keep doing the spinning thing. That's all they're doing.
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's their act, and it's super dangerous, super crazy hard. I can't imagine the strength and practice that has to go into what they do.
It's got to be hard. They're
incredible talent. I'm kind of over it.
And I'm really glad that they decided to like wear decent clothes and stuff last night. I feel like oh well, you know what? America's voting. We better put some clothes on. So that was that. Yeah, that's it. Next up, I
didn't get many votes.
I didn't get many votes either. You know, normally I would just because they're not a singing act, but last time I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Next up is Darcy Lane.
Darcy Lynn.
And Oscar the Puppet.
Yeah, man. That's real talent right there, bro.
It's very, very much talent. I gotta say though, the judge's weird sexualization of the puppet, and I'm like, what are you doing? Stop it, please. I mean, it's making me uncomfortable. My kids are in the room, and like, my wife's looking at me like, what's the deal with this, like, the sexualized puppet thing? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it was the kid who who did it. I mean, it's her act.
It was
She's
like she was a cute, like, he wants to marry you when he grows up, and like they took it like, well, why don't you two get a room?
Well,
like,
that was Tyra.
Yeah,
So,
well, and how he like cemented that, he's like, I don't know, it was uncomfortable and awkward. I don't.
Yeah, that's true. It was at the end, but it doesn't.
Her performance was great, but that whole bit took a little bit away from it because, like, instead of thinking about her performance, I'm thinking about this puppet and Mel B getting down. You know?
Okay. I mean, I couldn't stop thinking about her performance. Heidi summed it up best when she said that a lot of people can't sing with their mouths open.
Yeah.
She can sing with her mouth closed, and she sounds just as good as a lot of the other singers that are already on the show. So if you take that just out on its own, and then you take the fact that her manipulating of the puppets, I've watched a lot of ventriloquism. She at her age, the way she can manipulate the puppets with their hands, with the little nuances that they do, is really good.
No, she's impressive.
She's good. She definitely, in my opinion, if there was another golden buzzer, I would have given it to her last night. Say, go for it again. And she didn't even get a second act. This was only the second time she's performed.
Yeah, no,
she's golden buzzer.
She's really impressive, and I hope that she goes through.
Yeah, she got 10 votes from me last night.
Yeah, well, nice. Apparently her odds are fantastic. The odds for Darcy Lane to win, to go through tonight, is 3-2.
Okay,
those are good odds. Compare that to Preacher Law, 14-1.
Wait a second. I'm just curious. How do they decide what the odds are that somebody's going to go through?
I don't know.
I mean, you
Yoli
can
Mayer
just
is 66-1. Woo!
Man, that's not. Let's see. I want to know how they get the odds. So if you can figure out how and who makes the odds on this and how, I would love to know, because
I think
there's
it's based on polls.
Okay. So if somebody's taking a poll, okay.
Yeah, Preacher Law has a 14-1 odd. Celine Tam 25-1. Puddles Party 28-1. Yoli Mayer is 66-1. Singing Trump 66-1.
Wow.
In the Stairway 80-1. They're the worst odds on the show right now.
Okay, so the best odds were
Darcy Lane.
Darcy. Okay, so let's do this. Can we go through ourselves and say which 5 acts we think are going to go home?
Yes. Starting with Artin and Paige, they will be going home
for
tomorrow.
You. Okay, so you're saying Artin and Paige. Okay,
yeah,
there's
one.
There's one. Okay, I got your fingers. Go ahead.
Okay,
you do them. I'll do your fingers.
And I would say Just Jerk.
Okay.
Yoli Mayer.
Sweet dreams are made of these.
Billy and Emily England.
Okay, I don't think that'll happen, but all right.
And Christian Gardino.
Okay, that's pretty good. I think, here we go. So we got yours. I'm gonna go with Christian Gardino. I think he's going home. I think In the Stairwell is going home. I believe that Just Jerk will go home. And I believe that Artin and Paige will go home.
You know what? If I lose this bet, but they go home, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that?
I'm okay with that. Because at least Yoli Mayer is talented.
Well, I'll tell you this. I also, for my 5th choice, I think Yoli Mayer will go home.
Oh!
So, I do. Listen, I
wow.
hope I win the bet. I hope I win the bet. But just based on how I know how America is,
I'm winning tonight, boys and girls. I guess I'm not losing.
This is what I'll tell you.
More accurate.
The only one I'm unsure about is Artin and Paige, and I'll tell you why. Because if a lot of young people were voting last night, which tends to be the case these days, kids on their phones, you're going to get a lot of votes for Artin and Paige, and you might see the Singing Trump go home instead of Artin and Paige.
Oh, I hope that's not the case.
Okay, so just hold on to that. You might see the surprise go homes. I think might be Yoli Mayer and the Singing Trump. The Singing Trump for a couple reasons, because Trump has really become super unpopular. And to top that off, you got people who are like, I'm just tired of Trump. I'm not going to vote for him. So I honestly think that you might see Artin and Paige sticking around tomorrow night.
Well, I got to say, if all that happens, I'm not getting my pitchforks out. But if Puddle's Pity Party goes home, my pitchforks are being sharpened, My tinfoil hat is being twisted on. And it's going to be hard for you on the show, bro, because I'm going to be complaining about it for the next 4 episodes.
Well, I want to hear, I would love to hear your theory now about your conspiracy
I sort of
theory.
blew that already. I think that the NBC gave Simon carte blanche over this season because of his experience in the past and what he's been doing. And I think what he did was he is taking Britain's Got Talent. I watched almost an entire season of Britain's Got Talent. And he's doing the same thing with America's Got Talent that they did with Britain's Got Talent. And in every act has a sob story. Every act overproduced. Every act highly edited. Every show edited down to where it is telegraphing who's going to win, who's not. They're dumbing down the show. Because
that's true.
They make it easier for people to know what's going to happen. What's going to happen? Oh, and and it's a dumbing down, telegraphing move that it makes the editing bad. It allows them to pack as many commercials in as possible to amp up how much they're making on the show. But I think that this is going to lose them audience. More casual audience are going to fade away, like my wife. And they're gonna fade away. They're gonna be like, well, there's better things for me to do right now because I'm not watching the acts. I can't see what I want to see.
Yeah, I agree. I think next season they need to also probably get rid of Howie. I think it's time for Howie to go.
I don't mind Howie this season.
I like Howie overall. I've always loved him since he was a comic from the beginning. But I just think it's time for new blood in that spot. I think it's time for something else. And honestly, it wouldn't hurt me at all if Simon wasn't there next year.
Yeah, if Simon was replaced, I would be in a better place. And that's coming from I'm a fan of Simon Cowell until this season where my opinion of his style has dropped. I can see it. He is it's almost it looks like he is promoting the singing acts, because it's better for him and his record label and all that. And it just sort of sucks. And everybody online, on Reddit, Twitter, everywhere, there's a whole graph out there where they show here's this huge chunk of the graph is nothing but singers, and a small little tiny piece of the pie is variety,
Yeah, half of the acts, as of right now, half of the acts are singers or singing acts. So the thing about Simon Cowell is he has always been the voice of reason. He's always been the guy who said it correctly no matter what. And sometimes it came across mean, and sometimes, but you could always say whatever Simon said was usually right. And what's happened is that's happening less and less as he cares more and more about what people think about him.
Right.
And
that's a problem because I never cared about if he said it in a way that was offensive. I never cared about the feelings. I wanted the truth. That's what drew me to Simon Cowell was you are speaking the truth. And it hurts someone's feeling, maybe it does. But facts over feelings, right? Especially when it comes to competition. I want the facts, not the feelings of it. But he is definitely pulling toward that feelings portion, and it shows in the producing and his judging.
Well, in Simon's special, the reason why it's no accident that he's been successful for this long. You take a show like Shark Tank. Okay, you got Mr. Wonderful, right? In the middle, the bald guy. Mm-hmm. So you got Mr. Wonderful. He tells it like it is. Kevin tells it the way it is. Kevin is honest, but he comes across as a douche.
Yeah, he's the villain.
Whereas Robert on the end is a nice guy. You like him, and you kind of are drawn more towards him. Simon has that rare ability to be both. He's able to be the villain, and he's able to be the guy you like. And that's a very rare quality. It's why he's been successful. And Simon, you're losing it, man. You got to get back to that somehow. You got to pull back to the middle.
Get back to the middle. That's where the whole country needs to be, closer to the middle.
Right. You've got X Factor, I guess, coming back this season. I thought I saw something coming out on that. And then, he's really good on those shows. He needs to be back in those shows.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for us. Tomorrow morning, we're going to have our recap/reaction to the picks tonight. We will find out whether or not I have lost the bet and what I'll be doing on camera for the loss if I do lose.
I can't wait. I hope it happens.
I'm scared. That's it. Oh, I just want one more shout out. Preacher Lawson was fantastic.
Okay, you love Preacher Lawson.
Hey, catch us on Facebook.com/mixtees, Twitter.com/mixtees, and of course, YouTube.com/mixtees. Hit that subscribe button, hit the alert button, follow, like, shares, comment, all that nonsense. Tell us if we were wrong below. Tell us if we were right below. Have a conversation. We always like to talk to you. We always reply, no matter what. And we'll see you tomorrow. Shane?
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, and thanks for sticking around and listening to our craziness.
Oh, yeah.